Now that we've discussed climate change a bit more, we can talk about the things that can change here locally. First thing we will talk about is something we all know a bit too much about here: hurricanes. Hurricanes have become a part of life here in the Crossroads, but after the wrath of Hurricane Harvey, many of us began to wonder if we could expect more hurricanes like this in the future.
Well, the data shows that although we're seeing more activity, the main point, though, is the fact that the severity, especially of the rainfall, will be increasing as the global temperatures increase. Not so much the winds. There's not enough data to show the wind speeds will be increasing, but the amount of rainfall will be increasing because of the warmer temperatures. So we could see more Harveys, as we saw back in 2017, where the amount of rainfall will be much heavier and more concentrated than in previous hurricanes in the history.
Many think that rising sea surface temperatures will lead to stronger and more frequent hurricanes, but that is not exactly true. Mr. Ariano says that while we can expect an uptick in hurricane activity, it's a delicate balance.
In terms of global changes, what happens is as the temperatures of the Earth change, the difference between the northern hemisphere and up in the higher latitudes and the lower latitudes, the difference in temperature actually decreases because it's warmer further north than it is in the south. So what then may happen, though, is although the temperature of the Earth and the waters may be increasing, which could lead to more activity in terms of hurricanes, the fact that the gradient or the temperature difference between the northern latitudes and southern latitudes is not as great, that actually has a negative effect on tropical cyclone activity. So it's kind of a balance there, whether we're going to have more or less. But overall, the number of hurricanes and tropical cyclones has increased since 1970.
Hurricanes work to transfer heat from one part of the globe to another, usually originating in warm waters around 15 degrees latitude north or south of the equator. They work as giant heat engines to transfer the warm, moist air from the equator to areas further north in the mid-latitudes to balance out the heat around the globe. With warmer waters moving further north than they ever have before, does that mean areas not used to seeing hurricanes in the past could become more hurricane-prone in the future?
Well, also what we've seen with the global warming is the maximum strength of the hurricanes has shifted further north in the latitudes. So what that means now is much stronger hurricanes may be affecting cities further north than have been seeing hurricanes in the past. And so, say along the eastern seaboard and some of those other communities, because of the sea level increase, we could see higher surges along the coastline as well. So those two things. I think so with hurricanes, you'll see probably heavier rainfall amounts, maybe higher surge values, and further north on the impacts.
With global temperatures continuing to rise, many scientists continue to find a correlation between a longer hurricane season and rising sea surface temperatures. Uncertainty still remains with this statement and with how climate change will exactly affect our hurricane season. Tune in next time for the final part of this series exploring the effects of climate change on our very own Guadalupe River. For your hometown news, I'm meteorologist Alexandra Kent.